Remember, your clients aren't paying you to save them money. They're paying you so they don't have to worry about it. They're not even paying you to do the work. They're paying you to not have to worry about it. It tastes so fresh. It was supposed to rain last night. It didn't. I quit looking at the weather forecast, so I kind of keep an eye on it to let me know whether or not I need to rush through my schedule. But as far as like calling the day off early or anything like that, unless it's pouring, I'm gonna go out and cut. That's what I did the first couple years, and I'm back to that. Probably the last 2 years, I look at the weather and go, it's not. It's supposed to rain. And then when you have an employee, you can really jack yourself up with that stuff, and you can fall behind fast. And once you fall behind, you're behind, and it's very hard to catch up and stay caught up. So anyways, yeah, it's Easter weekend. With Easter Sunday coming up, we got to fly through everybody. Everybody's getting cut. I don't care if it's not really growing or not. Everybody gets cut, and that way it looks nice and clean, fresh, in case they have family over. Remember, your clients aren't paying you to save them money. They aren't paying you to not show up. They're paying you so they don't have to worry about it. They're not even paying you to do the work. They're paying you to not have to worry about it. Okay? First and foremost, that's it. Make it look clean, make it look fresh. If they call you and they're like, oh, why'd you come? Don't you service every 2 weeks? Nope, not this week. Got to make sure everybody's looking clean before a holiday. So for me, everyone gets cut before a holiday. I'm tired of hearing that stuff. If you get complaints or people calling, you can't turn back time and go, okay, well, I'm going to cut you this week before this holiday. And Easter's always a crazy one because it's right at the beginning of spring. Everything's jumping up fast. All the weeds and everything get high. And you get a bunch of crazy nonsense calls. Alright, so I did get an email from a client because I mowed this past week. Before Easter. So he has Bermuda. It's not really growing yet, but it was growing enough that, hey, look, it looks a little shaggy. And like I said, I run through all of my customers because I don't want the complaint. What I would rather handle is a scenario when they said, hey, you mowed us. I didn't think it needed mowed. What's going on? Because then I can say, look, I'm doing it because I wanted to make sure it looked good for you. So here's how it went. He said, Kevin, last season we did lawn mowing every other week. I see no reason to stop that now. I would appreciate it if you could go back to that schedule. According to the previous invoice, the last mowing was a week ago. Okay, so here's how I handle it. Hey there. First off, very sorry it's so late. It is always a bit crazy the week of a holiday. So that was 11:12 when I emailed him back. That's so unprofessional. Well, it's better that I handle it as soon as I possibly can than at a different time. So I saw this about 11 o'clock. And I took care of it at 11 o'clock. Okay. So I serviced your property today because it's Easter this weekend. I cut all my clients before every holiday during the season. That way I know that everyone is looking sharp just in case they have family over. As for the bi-weekly confusion, with Bermuda, I ramp up to weekly in the spring and slow down to every 2 weeks in the fall, with the exceptions of holidays. Your property was scheduled weekly last year through the growing season. I don't service any lawns on a 2-week basis, other than the startup or slowdown or the occasion where there may have been weather delay. Here's a list of your previous service dates. Your schedule this year will be fairly similar to last year. Please let me know if there's any further questions. And then I listed all the service dates. And it goes on to a second page, all the service dates when I took care of them last year. That way there's no confusion. I mowed you weekly last year, which is really nice. That's a big plus of Yardbook, is that I've got all that on file and I can just copy paste it over real quick. But that takes out the confusion there that we were weekly or bi-weekly. When I got hired on, I'm a weekly company. That's just the way that I take care of it. And you know, as far as Easter, a holiday, 4th of July, whatever the holiday might be, there's going to be several that come up during the season. Labor Day, all those, you want to knock them out ahead of time, because I would much rather talk to a client about why I cut it versus why I didn't cut it and have to go cut it on Easter. There's been times where I had to go out and cut on 4th of July. Or on my daughter's birthday. Her birthday's on July 3rd, when I had family in town, because I didn't knock it out. And I thought, well, it doesn't need cut yet, and they're every 2 weeks. That was in the beginning of my business, so I guess it can wait. You know what? I should have absolutely waited in certain scenarios. That's that particular scenario. They were every 2 weeks and they weren't due until the next week. I should have absolutely waited and said, well, you know, the way we could avoid this is by getting you on weekly. Let's go ahead and do that, okay? But that's where I was at in my business. You learn the lessons and you grow as you grow. The benefits of understanding where your struggles are and being able to calmly analyze them while you're in it, instead of having this massive anxiety that, oh my God, I'm struggling, I'm drowning. Like, stop doing that. You're going to keep drowning. But if you figure out to get to the top of the water, you're going to survive, right? If you got to struggle to get your head above water, that's kind of like the first couple of years in business. You're struggling, you're getting your head above water, you're just, oh God. Now once you're up there, then you have to calm down a little bit. And you have to breathe, and you have to swim to shore. If you're not calm during that time, you're just going to sink again and you're going to drown again. So where it was beneficial to just be nuts and throw in every direction that you could to get yourself up, it doesn't become beneficial after you're up. You have to start communicating clear. You have to start thinking your way through things. And that way you can drag yourself to the shore, stand on your highest high, and be at the next level in your business. So each stage, you're under the water, you're drowning, you figure out you need to be in business, you need to get your head above the water so you can breathe, you're above the water, you're swimming to the shore, you're actually starting to think things through. That's the stage I'm in. I'm going, okay, I'm thinking things a little bit through. Maybe I'm still throwing my arms around and I'm looking up. I don't know. I think my head's above the water a little bit. At this point, I'm figuring out, okay, I need to be calm, I need to bring myself to the shore so I can stand up. At that point, I'll be a business that's doing well. It's not a bad thing to admit that your business is on an IV drip. Your business is sick. Your business isn't doing well. That's something I've had to tell myself. Hey, you're not doing as well as you think you are. Your business is sick. Here's the ways you're sick. Now let's fix it. Communication's one. I think every small business at my stage generally has communication problems. In the very beginning, you don't know what to say. It's overwhelming. There's a lot of anxiety to just tell somebody this is the way it works, this is how we do it, because you don't even know how you're doing it at that point. I gotta go to work, man.